Create it off your defense, and you've got to get out and run. And that was something that the Aces were not able to do against Indiana today.
The Aces, the only player you can't blame for the Aces was A'ja Wilson. Like, she was fine. She was good.
Tonight, we put, a third quarter together. After that, 3 quarters of trash. The offense was trash. The defense was trash.
The first win for the Indiana Fever against the Las Vegas Aces since I was 22 years old.
How did the Indiana Fever completely outclass the Las Vegas Aces in their worst performance ever? Without Caitlin Clark, the Fever didn't just win. They sent shockwaves through the league.
Look, I think that Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play because she's a ball-dominant guard.
What went so wrong for the Aces and so incredibly right for Indiana? Stick around because this story is unreal. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Nobody saw it coming. Without Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever were supposed to struggle. Against the reigning champions, the Las Vegas Aces, the predictions weren't just losses, they were borderline blowouts. But from the very first tip-off, it was clear. This wasn't the team Vegas thought they were playing. Indiana came out firing, focused, and relentless. Meanwhile, the Aces, a team usually defined by their dominance, looked completely stuck in the mud. It was one of those games where the energy felt like it was all on one side, and Indiana fed off it.
One team is fickle and one team is not. One team is 3 steps behind and one team is not. They got all the 50-50 ball. I mean, they busted our ass in every kind of way, Michael.
The Fever's offense flowed effortlessly. Kelsey Mitchell, playing out of her mind, hit shot after shot, keeping defenses scrambling. Every time Vegas thought they could settle, Mitchell would either drain a deep jumper or set up a perfect assist. And Aliyah Boston? Dominant doesn't even begin to describe it. Her presence in the paint was unstoppable on both ends. Board after board, block after block, and easy buckets at the rim.
A post like Aliyah Boston, I'm going to tell you, Indiana, they are a threat, and specifically on the defensive end.
Watching her take control was almost like watching a switch flip. She just couldn't be contained. The Fever weren't just playing, they were a full-blown machine, executing plays like clockwork. On the other side, chaos, sloppy passes, missed defensive rotations, lazy closeouts on shooters. The Aces couldn't get anything to click. The strangest part? The Fever weren't doing anything flashy. They played smart, disciplined basketball, and it worked. Analysts even pointed out that without Caitlin Clark on the floor, Indiana's offense forced Vegas to defend as a group. Carolyn Peake, breaking it down post-game, said, "They weren't looking to one player. Everybody was moving off the ball. Vegas didn't know what was coming next." By halftime, Vegas was already in shambles.
Create it off your defense, and you've got to get out and run. And that was something that the Aces were not able to do against Indiana today.
I am in shock. I am in shock. The Indiana Fever just beat the Aces.
Even A'ja Wilson, usually a steady force, looked frustrated, urging her team to wake up. But it only got worse. For all their talent, the Aces couldn't keep up with the sheer hustle Indiana brought. In the end, this wasn't just a game. It was an embarrassment for Vegas and an announcement from the Fever. Without Clark, they dismantled the league's best. Now, let's figure out why the Aces fell apart so miserably. Imagine being the Las Vegas Aces, a team stacked with talent, sitting atop the league, and ending the night with just 54 points on the board. It didn't even look like the same squad that dominated all season. This wasn't your average bad game.
The first win for the Indiana Fever against the Las Vegas Aces since I was 22 years old.
It was a meltdown of epic proportions. The Aces, known for their dynamic offense, suddenly forgot how to score. Passes went nowhere. Open looks turned into bricks. And when they couldn't rely on their usual rhythm, everything spiraled out of control. Chelsea Gray, one of the smartest players in the game, struggled to find her footing from the start. Her passes didn't connect, and her usual poise controlling the floor simply wasn't there.
AKA point fraud. And remember, this is probably who the WNBA player said was also better than Caitlin Clark.
Every possession felt rushed or flat-out disorganized. Aja Wilson tried to keep the wheels turning, attacking the rim and showing flashes of her usual brilliance, but it was like trying to carry sand in a leaking bucket. The effort was there, but everything kept falling apart around her. Meanwhile, the bench was nowhere to be found, leaving the starters to fend for themselves.
The Aces, the only player you can't blame for the Aces was Aja Wilson. Like, she was fine. She was good.
Tonight, we put, a third quarter together. After that, 3 quarters of trash. The offense was trash. The defense was trash.
The play on the court wasn't just sloppy. It felt lifeless. Turnovers came in rapid succession. Defensive rotations were missed left and right, and their shot selection made it look like they were throwing darts blindfolded. Coach Becky Hammon didn't hold back, saying bluntly after the game, "That's a complete lack of professionalism to come in here with that effort. Complete lack of focus. They play harder yesterday and practice by a lot." That stung, but the performance proved her point. Aces fans couldn't believe what they were witnessing. On the other end, Indiana's defense was relentless. Every time Vegas tried to build momentum, the Fever were there, swarming like a unit that wanted it more.
A 25-point blowout of the Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup final, and then 27 against the Aces in this one, and both of those games without Caitlin Clark.
Vegas couldn't adjust or find answers. What makes this worse for the Aces is that this wasn't just a bad shooting night. It exposed deeper cracks in their team chemistry and intensity. And if those cracks aren't fixed soon, this loss could be the warning sign of much larger issues. The Indiana Fever didn't just win, they flipped the WNBA's script.
3% from the floor, but the rest of the Aces shot just 7 for 43. What can Becky Hammon do right now to help her squad start stringing together some wins here?
This wasn't a fluke, and it wasn't about one player. Without Caitlin Clark, Indiana showcased a system built on teamwork, execution, and relentless effort.
There has to be some fight back. If they're going to allow that kind of physicality, my team has to step up and match that physicality.
Analysts are calling this win part of a total shift in how the Fever approach the game. Their movement and defensive dominance proved they're deeper and stronger than anyone expected. Now the Aces face serious questions. Can they fix their chemistry, or are they falling behind a new wave of contenders? What do you think? Is this the Fever's moment, or was this just one shocking night?